Well, hello, everyone. I hope that you are all doing well today. Welcome to our special session on the Innovate for Challenge Innovation event. I'm Alavil Makaisa from Prince of Peace Integrated School, and I'm going to be your host for this session. So basically, what do we want to know about this challenge is going to be discussed in this session. And this will give you information on what to expect so that you can make a decision if you want to join or participate, either register as a regular participant or with our workshops. Let me start by sharing my screen. All right, so most of us, when we are in school, ask this question to ourselves: why do I need to learn this? And the same applies to our students nowadays. It doesn't really change. We always want to find meaning in what we do, a purpose for why we have to learn or memorize or do math problems and all of that. So this is like the question that we want to answer. And especially in today's society, children, our students, our learners are drowning in AI. That is the reality. Traditional schooling is not enough because the methods and practices and approaches that are in regular school and in traditional schooling was not made to address the advent of having AI in everything that we do. So there's studies that have shown, especially, for example, in the World Economic Forum, about job growth and loss. So for the most part, we want our children educated so they could have good jobs or businesses, right? But both of them are affected because of the rapid change in our technology. And so, for example, the 10 fastest growing jobs, as you can see, are related to AI and machine learning: sustainability, business intelligence, information security, data analysts, robotics, even agriculture. So that is something that is not often discussed or explored as an option for students. But the reality is we have to find ways to have more sustainable farming methods and to establish a good food supply because our resources are not infinite. And the top 10 fastest declining jobs include jobs that can be automated. So anything that can be replaced with robots and AI, those are the fastest declining jobs. And a lot of that is what many of traditional school teaches us. The automation replaces all that. Top 10 skills on the rise, on the other hand, show that's very important for students to learn creative thinking, analytical thinking, technological literacy, curiosity and lifelong learning, resilience, flexibility, and agility, and other things that are listed in this list from the World Economic Forum. So if you think about this, we all want to pursue and strengthen and develop these skills for our students. So let's imagine if our children had the tools and confidence to solve real-world problems. What kind of impact could they make? That's a question that we want you to think about as teachers, as program leaders, as parents, and even as students. Like if you are a student and you're listening to this orientation, so let's go and ask first the question why innovation matters. And the reason why we're tackling this is because before we go into the details of the challenge itself, we want you to be able to understand why innovation education matters. So because of global challenges around the world, we are facing overwhelming problems with climate change, poverty, and inequality. It seems too complex, right? But precisely in these moments, we need new leaders who are unafraid to ask questions and seek innovative solutions, not the usual, not the previous solutions, but new ones out of the box, right? That is why here we have innovation education. It's actually an answer to the world's global challenges. And this pathway of nurturing leaders is unlike traditional educational framework because it puts students in the driver's seat. So instead of just being assigned problems, what happens here in innovation education is that students are encouraged to identify the problems, the specific problems that they care about. And then you are going to design your solutions as students, or your students are going to design their own solutions. So next we have here developing empathy and communication. So as we know, students who research their own chosen problems and develop potential solutions, this really would encourage them to consider the experiences of others. It fosters and develops empathy and compassion, and it helps them understand different perspectives and also drives them to communicate their ideas clearly and convincingly. Because even if you have the greatest idea, you have a most effective and wonderful solution or invention or innovation. If you can't communicate it clearly, if you can't influence people, if you can't persuade others to see your point of view, then your solution will not take off. You won't get support for it. So that's part of the aim of doing this kind of innovation education. It's also an antidote to powerlessness. So there have been a lot of problems, issues, situations in the world, or even locally, like typhoons in the Philippines. Often what happens with students is that they feel a sense of powerlessness. They encounter and learn about these events, but what can we do? What can they do? Aside from praying, which is of course the number one thing that we ought to do, having an innovative mindset allows for students to see they can make a difference. Problems can be solved, and small efforts do matter. It also teaches students to approach others for help, to expand the capacity to make progress in every area of their life, knowing that we can't do everything by ourselves, and teaching us to ask the right people and to research and observe. That is a great skill that we all need. Moving on, hands on, heads on, hearts on. So this concept tells us that for innovation education, it is not confined to just answering workbooks and solving problems in your notebook, right? This is something that allows students to venture into the real world, to practice empathy, seeking out problems to solve, and using their hands to build solutions. Now, for heads on, it develops critical thinking because you have to research, you have to brainstorm, you have to evaluate and create something that is meaningful. So it actually aligns to Bloom's taxonomy, which emphasizes higher order thinking skills such as analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. Hearts on learning, because it, again, there's empathy that's involved, and it is about understanding the experiences of others. And this heart-centered approach makes learning more impactful and meaningful. Now, more than that, it's also about preparing for an unpredictable future. We know that technology is changing so rapidly, and it's just totally unpredictable. We can't foresee what students will definitely need in terms of academic requirements. You know, the coding, the skills that you are learning today, by a few months might be not what you will need because that is already automatic. So what we need are students who could see themselves as agents of change and problem solvers. So innovation education equips all of students with the skills and mindset needed to navigate and shape the future. So I have a couple of examples of young innovators who have definitely made an impact, a great impact, but they started with very small efforts. So we have here Prasidhi Singh. So let's get to know Prasidhi Singh. So Prasidhi was a little girl, only 4 years old, when she witnessed the devastating impact of Cyclone Varda in 2016, which uprooted countless trees in her neighborhood in India. This event sparked a fire in her to take action, and she wanted to plant trees. She started with collecting the seeds from the fruits that they ate at home, and eventually she asked her neighbors to also save the seeds from the fruits that they eat because she didn't have any idea yet where to get the seeds so that she could plant the trees, right? So she started from something as simple as that. And eventually, the movement grew so much that she works with government officials to find land that they could actually have a plantation. She has studied the um, local trees that would be most beneficial to plant in those areas. And she has been to many conferences and international events to share her message. She has founded the Prasiddhi Forest Foundation and has made a huge impact on environmental conservation across India and even around the world. And it's simply spectacular. From that humble beginnings, as of July 2024, Presidia successfully planted 140,000 trees, and the count is still increasing. And her efforts have created numerous microforests, transforming barren lands into green havens. She's been invited by the Prime Minister of India. She's the youngest keynote speaker of Harvard Model United Nations. She's also globally recognized as the Earth Day Network Rising Star. She's part of Top 100 Global Child Prodigy in 2022. And she was the youngest speaker at G20 India and the UN COP 28 in Dubai last year. She's been featured in numerous national and international media outlets, such as the Times of India, BBC News, and CNN, bringing global attention to her cause. Another innovator that we'd like you to get to know is Boyan Slat. Boyan Slat is a Dutch inventor and entrepreneur. And he was only 16 when he was swimming in Greece with his family, and he noticed how much trash there was on the ocean. This led him to want to do something about it. So he started with a high school project, and eventually he continued and improved on that idea. And at the age of 18, he delivered a TEDx talk outlining his innovative idea to clean ocean plastic using a passive drifting system driven by ocean currents. This talk gained significant attention, and eventually he launched a crowdfunding campaign and successfully raised over $2 million, enabling him to actually develop and test this technology. By 2018, the Ocean Cleanup deployed its first system in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Now, of course, there was a lot of failures, there was a lot of iterations, a lot of development before things would really be running smoothly and working the way he has designed it to. As of 2024, the ocean cleanup has successfully removed hundreds of thousands of kilograms of plastic from the ocean and is scaling up with improved systems. So again, just like Prasidhi, it was this desire that was born out of a teenager's heart to do something about the problem that he is witnessing around him that led to this massive ocean cleanup that actually works and is being funded by people who believe in his mission. So he has gained support because he is able to show them that his idea is working and that it is important. I wanted to share to you about them because personally, getting to know such innovators, particularly at the Global Innovation Field Trip, has allowed me to see what is possible and has allowed me also to really be more immersed in invention and innovation education and desire to have that more available for our students in the Philippines. This is what we have for you. A result of all that exposure, we have Innovate for Change Innovation Challenge, which is harnessing local creativity for global solutions. This program is in partnership with Prince of Peace Integrated School, Cornerstone Global Education, Gopala Learning Haven, Better Together Homeschool International, Arrows and Quivers Homeschool, Charlotte Mason Authentique, and of course, our global friends from Invent Future Global, Innovation World, Global Innovation Field Trip, Institute of Inventors and Innovators, and Inspire Curiosity. We also have the help of our homeschool kids from Homeschooling by Grace and Wonderfully Made Kids Homeschool to make this idea come to life. And it's basically a challenge that will allow students to come up with their own solution for the problem that they are able to identify on their own as well. So this is actually project-based learning using design thinking, and it's a problem-solving approach that puts human needs and experiences at the center of the creative process. It's a powerful method for driving innovation and creating solutions that are both effective and user-friendly. So here are some key reasons why design thinking is important. Number one, human-centered focus. So it's emphasizes the needs, desires, and challenges of people for whom the solutions are being designed. So the students are making something that is relevant and impactful. It encourages creativity and innovation because there's brainstorming and it allows for thinking outside the box. There's also the iterative process, meaning solutions are continuously tested and refined based on feedback. Of course, there's an opportunity for collaboration and cross-disciplinary approach and a focus on problem definition. So it's a critical step from empathizing and define that the students find out a problem that touches their heart, that they care about, and that they want to solve. And of course, the skill of prototyping and implementing and gathering data to make their solution better. So we simplify this for our students using a 4-step framework we are calling DIBS. Discover, imagine, build, and share. And this is what we will be giving to the students as a guide in how they will arrive at their solutions. So to discover involves, again, empathy and finding out what the actual problem is that they want to solve. Imagine involves brainstorming and finding the right solution. Build, of course, refers to prototyping and testing and getting feedback. And share would be communicating the whole thing through a presentation, a video, and the logbook. So we're all going to connect this to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals because any problem that they would identify will fit in to one of these 17 SDGs. The kind of solutions that the students will be making are not limited to an invention that has a physical prototype. So, of course, it could be related to robotics, as the sample pictures show. It could be a cardboard prototype, for example, a new type of sustainable car or automobile. It could be a school campaign related to recycling or art using plastic materials that are being recycled as well. It could be an app, for example, a way for farmers to bring their products directly to the consumers so that there will be less food waste. The app that you're going to make doesn't have to be a working app. It could be a sketch of what you want it to look like and what it would be really doing. It would be based on the idea itself, and that is already their innovation. It could even be something like a podcast or a YouTube channel, which raises awareness and promotes a certain value or advocacy. Or it could be something educational like a card game that teaches children mathematical concepts. So these are some of the examples of ideas, apps, and prototypes that students can come up with as their solution. So what we will be providing for all participants that would register will be the challenge ebook guide, outlining and detailing the DIBS framework and how to do it. We also have the Canva presentation template, which of course the students can make their own design, but you have to keep it at only 6 pages. And then the logbook template. So we don't really need it to be a logbook that follows its exact format. It's just a guide with the questions that each student can answer as they go along the process. The main point of this is to have some sort of journal or documentation that they went through the DIBS framework and started with how they identified the problem, they found a solution, how they prototype, tested, gotten feedback, and their final thoughts. So it could be a notebook, it could be photos of um, a whiteboard or chalkboard, it could be sketches, it could be also a digital record if you're using other programs to record your progress. And you also get a free ebook, How Inventors Get Started, from our good friend Warren Wilson, who is our guest inventor for our special Zoom sessions. So these are our guests for our special Zoom sessions. We have, as I mentioned, Mr. Warren Wilson from Australia. He's the inventor of Better Blocks. And Celeste Mulholland from South Africa, from the Institute of Inventors and Innovators. And they will talk about anything related to invention and making your own solutions. And then we have Miss Julie Shively from the USA, and she's the founder of Innovation World and the co-founder of the Global Innovation Field Trip, or GIFT. She will be talking about podcasting for students. Part of the special Zoom sessions are free STEM classes that will be taught by students, and this is in partnership with Inspire Curiosity. So, how can you participate? We have two options for participation. Option one is for the regular participants. This would be with the fee for 500 pesos. All proceeds will go to the Typhoon Karina victims. And this will give you access to the first online workshop session, which would be on August 10, 2024, from 2 to 3 p.m. And you get all the materials, the challenge ebook guide, Canva template, logbook template, the free ebook, How Inventors Get Started, as well as access to all the Zoom events that are from our special guests, and an invitation to participate in the first round of judging. So they can submit their innovations with the logbook and the presentation template, and it will be reviewed by offline judges. Feedback will be provided, but there will be no live presentations. So some of these innovations will be selected to go on into the finals. And the final round will be on September 7, 2024. And selected students will present to a panel of judges and get feedback and advice from them. The winner of our final showcase will receive a ticket to the Global Innovation Challenge 2024. So the next way to participate is through our workshops. The fee for the workshop participants is 2,000 pesos. Again, this will be donated to the Typhoon Karina and Habagat flood victims. And what you get are 4 mentoring sessions on each of the Saturdays of August. So August 10, 17, 24, and 31. So as mentioned earlier, August 10, the meeting would be at 2 to 3 p.m. On August 17, that's going to be on 7 to 8 p.m. And then we'll announce the schedule of the other 2 sessions later on. If you're not available on those times, you would still get a recording, and you could still communicate with us through chat and email so that we could continue to guide you offline as well. And the purpose of this workshop is to guide the students through the innovative process from start to finish. So since we're guiding you step by step, the additional benefits, aside from the materials and access to the special Zoom events, is that you get an automatic invitation to the final round. You don't have to go through the initial first round of offline judging. So for students that have been prepared for this through the workshops, They will go through the final round of judging on September 7, 2024, with a panel of judges. And again, the final showcase winners will receive a ticket to the Global Innovation Challenge 2024. That happens in October, but the deadline for registration for the GIC 2024 is on September 12th. So we're finished before that. So again, why should your students join the Innovate for Change Innovation Challenge? So this is actually an opportunity for them to create, innovate, collaborate, and communicate. It is a way to make their learning more meaningful through critical thinking and problem solving. It gives them a clear path and empowerment to solve real world problems, and it nurtures empathy and compassion. So, in two ways, by the project itself, they are going to find a problem that they care about and they will solve a real world problem. So, they are helping either people or the planet. And the next one is, of course, from the fees itself. By participating and paying the fees, they're already helping those in need because, as I mentioned, all the proceeds will be given as a donation to the Typhoon Karina and Habagat flood victims. So how can you register? Please register by August 9, 2024, so that you can attend the first workshop on August 10, again at 2 to 3 p.m. So go to bit.ly/innovreg or scan the QR code on this page. And we hope that you don't miss out on this opportunity to be part of something that is very impactful. So sign them up today and just attach your proof of payment to the registration form, and we will be sending you the materials right away. Again, if you're not available for the Zoom sessions on Saturdays, we'll send a recording. And if there's enough students who actually need help, we might even schedule another one in the middle of the week when more people will be available. So our goal is really to empower you to be able to be a change maker through the Innovate for Change Innovation Challenge. And to end, I just want to share a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. So it is our hope and prayer that you would allow your students to participate in this challenge, that they will see for themselves that their learning has meaning, that their education and what they're doing has a purpose. So whatever they're learning, whatever skills they're developing, it can be used for good. They can be a force for good. So with that, I want to say thank you for joining and hope to see you on Saturday. God bless you all.